Yo, what's up, everybody?
What's going on?
We're back with another video. Welcome on into the Cantina. Just gonna talk. We're just gonna bullshit about some NFL news that's going on because there's a hell of a lot of it, and unfortunately, our favorite team's in the middle of it.
Feels like it's back to the good old days of the Brownies, doesn't
That's
it?
right. That's right.
The dysfunction. It was a wonder why everything did feel so weird the last year and a half or so now. Now it's like, oh, this feels normal again. This feels like the Browns to me now.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah, all jokes aside, it really does fucking suck.
Yeah, it does. It was slightly depressing yesterday when all this was going down, yet I couldn't get enough of it. I was on Twitter, Odell versus Baker. It was like, oh my God. And everybody was taking sides, man. I mean, you had to draw a line in the sand.
You would have thought this was the fucking presidential race again.
Yeah, it was seriously just like that. It was unfreaking believable. How crazy it was. Just back and forth on Twitter. LeBron James and other athletes chiming in.
Yeah.
It got out of hand so fast that I just couldn't get enough of it at work, honestly. So let's get into it. We'll just discuss it and bring it up play by play here quickly, because you probably heard about this. Odell Beckham Sr. drops an 11-minute video on YouTube. My son's wide open. Baker doesn't hit him. Really well put together video too, with little circles and
Yeah, I love the song too. Everybody Hurts. That was hilarious. When I was watching, like, this is funny. Like,
the
just
editing,
from a comedic standpoint, it was funny.
It had an intention and it delivered. Because it really riled people up. But I feel like that video would have been like okay. It would have been whatever. It was just like, I mean, because Emily Mayfield did the same shit with, oh, all these guys aren't making plays for Baker. You guys should respect Baker and be glad he's here for you. That video came out a week or two ago. Nobody cared after a while. I feel like everything would have been fine until that motherfucker LeBron James tweeted free OBJ. I feel like that's when the tide turned. That it was like, all right, this is now a war.
I could see that. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was just blowing up just because it's Odell. Everything with him, such like huge drama and like, theatrics and stuff.
Yeah.
And just kind of comes with his persona. But I can see, when LeBron weighs in on things, it starts throwing fans into a frenzy.
Yeah.
Especially Cleveland fans with his connection to the city and everything. So
yeah. Especially when you do hashtag free Odell. It's like, where the fuck is this coming from?
But at the same time, too, it's like you can't really take him seriously because it's like you've seen this dude show up. Was it the 2007 season in the Indians playoff games against the Yankees? He showed up and was wearing a Yankees ball cap. And then, we've seen him wear Cowboys gear before and stuff. And so we know it's like, you can't really take what he says too seriously. It's like, okay, this guy just kind of rides waves, essentially,
Yeah. And he's all about player empowerment. And
that I get too. And that I can respect too, because there was a point in time when, players didn't get their due like they should.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see somebody that at the top of the game as he is, like, one of the best to have that voice for him. But yeah, just sometimes it's just like, okay, like, you're not needed here.
And Odell and LeBron talk from the past when Odell was in New York. He was a megastar. And so there was there had to be some sort of collusion going on behind the scenes where OBJ was like, help me. Like, I can't say anything. It's going to look bad on me. But all you guys can say something. And I mean, everybody was.
I think even between Odell and his dad, I think he knew that the video was coming out.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I feel like there's no doubt in my mind that if it wasn't Odell's idea himself, it was his father's or something. And he definitely ran it by him. And was like, hey, I'm going to post this. And they just ran with it.
Yeah, I can definitely see where Odell knew either just before that was posted or knew it was being made.
Yeah.
And never said
he had
anything
an idea
to stop it.
of what was going on. No, not at all.
Yeah.
And that's something too, is like, to my knowledge, at least today, I haven't really got to look and see, but to my knowledge, I haven't seen him come out and make a public statement, like either distancing himself from it or just like
He hasn't
apologizing or
distanced
saying
himself
something
from it.
like.
I heard on the radio that I don't know if this is true. Chico was saying it on the radio before, right when I got home, and he was saying that Odell made a statement and it was like, but he said it was erased. So I don't know if maybe he tweeted it and then deleted it really fast. And I haven't looked for it, but it said something about sometimes it just doesn't work, which is like, that's fine. I can understand that. But we went about this a total wrong way.
Yeah, very like just honestly, it's very much what I expect from Odell to go about something like this.
Yeah.
Like very immature, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
it is immature. To be fair, I gotta say this because this is already 5 minutes of sounding like we're ragging on Odell. Baker is at fault for this shit too.
Oh no, absolutely. Yes, and like I gave you shit right before the podcast about yesterday. You know, you texted me and Joe, who does the other shows with us. Pick right now Odell versus Baker, and I texted back. I was like, why do I got to pick? I was like, they both have been shit in this situation. Like, I don't want to pick either. I want them both to just like shape the fuck up. Like, you guys got football to play. This is stupid. So I don't want to rag on Odell the whole time because Baker is at fault as well in this whole thing.
Yeah. He is. He's played like fucking shit.
Yes.
He's been very sporadic. He's made some good throws, but he's made a lot of throws in critical situations that you're like, what the fuck?
Yes.
And like, I don't want to hear about Odell's drops. That shit gets so annoying on the radio. Every fucking wide receiver in the NFL drops passes. Look at fucking Jarvis Landry, who's known for not dropping passes, literally cost us a game last week. So fuck off with the drop passes. I bet people still want us to throw the ball to Jarvis. So I don't get that argument. That shit's dumb to me. Like DeAndre Hopkins drop passes, Terry McLaurin drops passes. They all fucking drop passes.
No, it
happens. Now it's happened in critical situations for Odell, and it could just be just something that's happened. Maybe he's not in rhythm in the game. I don't know, but I'm sick of that argument personally.
Yeah,
but
it's not a very strong argument.
And there have been multiple times where Odell has like easy touchdowns and Baker just flat out misses it. I mean, he had, I think, 3 in the Minnesota game.
No, I remember watching it. Especially, was it the last one that he bonked him on the helmet?
He drilled the corner in the head. It was so short. It hit the corner.
And seeing it live, it was like, I know we were sitting there bitching about it. Like, what the fuck is Baker doing there? Like, you got to hit him. And Baker's got the arm for that throw.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to hear shit about the injury because he's been playing. He missed 1 game. He actually played pretty well. Last week, he did have some errant throws that were high, but he's always done that. Like, that's kind of his MO. When he misses high. But yeah, I mean, both are at fault, but I mean, fucking Odell. I mean, the way that this was like orchestrated and came about was just like, holy shit. Like, he's done. And you can see it Sunday looking back at his body language during the game. Yes. He was check the fuck out. So I don't know if something happened before the game or if like halfway through the game he was just like, fuck this, I'm over this. Like, this is fucking stupid. I don't know what that breaking point was.
It almost had to have been before the game for him to come out and just look like that. Like, I almost wondered too if maybe like that was when he kind of had knowledge that this video was either being made or coming out soon. Like, it was just like maybe thinking about just the whole process. I don't know. Like, because he wasn't there at the game at all. Like,
no, he wasn't.
There. He was there physically, but that was about it.
Yeah, I mean, especially you see Dearness Johnson makes a beautiful cutback touch for a touchdown, and Odell walks straight off.
Yeah,
and he's never really done that. He's always been like over celebrating. And then Baker picks up a huge 3rd down, and he scrambled for it. Gets pumped up after what should have been a late hit, wasn't called. Trying to fire up the crowd. It'll be our thumbnail. It looks like he's trying to punch Odell because Odell just walks right by. It's a great snapshot. It's a great snapshot, especially for what ensued after that.
Yeah, honestly.
But yeah, it was just weird. And I wondered, if it was something before the game or if it was something like in the early stages, if Baker just missed him flat out on something and Odell was like, this is just the same fucking shit. Like, why am I out here?
It couldn't even be that, yeah.
Um,
Because, I mean, and again, like, Odell has a right to be, like,
100%.
a little pissed about the quarterback play. Like, he definitely, like, if it's game after game after game and it's like, dude, like, I'm getting open, like, you gotta, and when you do hit me when I am open, like, you gotta give me something catchable. Like,
Yeah.
he's got every right to expect that from a quarterback.
Yeah. I'll tell you this as a Browns fan who was fully entrenched in this shit yesterday. I feel like yesterday, emotionally, I was with Odell. I was like, he's got every right. He's got every right to be pissed. Baker's played like shit because, I mean, we have bitched about Baker's play this year. And quite frankly, I told you 2 weeks ago, I'm over it. I'm fully ready to move on after next year if we have an opportunity to upgrade. I'm not just getting rid of him just to get rid of him.
No, yeah.
But if we have an opportunity to bring in someone who we know is better, let's do it.
Yeah. And that's where, like, in that text yesterday that you sent to me and Joe, that was kind of my explanation as well. Is, you know what? As stupid as it is, I don't want to pick between Odell and Baker. My initial thought is get rid of Odell because
he plays wide receiver. Unfortunately, quarterback's way more important.
Yeah, we've had top talent wide receiver here with fucking shit quarterback play, and that got us nowhere. When Josh Gordon was here, he was one of the best receivers in the NFL. That did dick for us.
Yeah.
So, but we got a mediocre quarterback. You can work with that. So, unless Case Keenum is like the starter next year, I would dump Odell. Like, it sucks, but
yeah. Yeah, and I think the thing is, I think Baker is above average, but I just don't know where his ceiling is.
I don't know if he's consistent enough to be above average. It's almost like
he's Trevor Bauer.
I don't even want to say. I was gonna say Trevor Bauer, but I still feel like Trevor Bauer's when he was good, he was better than Baker was. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, maybe. I mean,
it's just
the second half
pretty
of
much
last
is
year,
like Trevor Bauer, though.
Baker was like a top 10 quarterback, and I feel like, I mean, at Bauer's best, he's a top 5 pitcher.
Yeah.
So that's kind of similar.
Maybe I'm just giving baseball more because it's tougher.
Yeah.
And you know.
Well, honestly, in the NFL, it might be harder because you're not going to get the 10 years Trevor Bauer got to get it right. You know what I mean?
True.
Baker's only got to get. I mean, this is year 4, and it's like put up or shut up time. It feels like already.
No, and I did want to see that going into this season too. It's like, all right, Baker, like, we've seen you be real shitty, but we've also seen you be real good. This is the year 4, where like you basically need to cement what it is you are as an NFL quarterback. We can't be waffling anymore. This is year 4 now. Like,
all you got to do is perform better than Kirk fucking Cousins, dude, and you're not.
No, not at all.
That's my biggest thing. Is just like there's 2 things going against Baker. One, he's probably the 3rd, if not the worst quarterback in the league. And yes, I do think you can argue it, even though I think Ben is worse than him at this point. But I think it's arguable still. And 2,
I mean, Ben did win. Ben did beat him, so
but obviously I'd be picking Baker over Ben if I had to choose right now. But it shouldn't be debatable. That's the whole thing.
Because you said that's why I wanted to play a little bit, devil's advocate there, because you did say it's arguable. So I'll try and give that side an argument.
It's
not that I agree,
arguable.
yes, but
and 2, I just at this point I don't know if you can win a Super Bowl with him. Because we haven't seen the guy we saw the second half of last year. Now, I'll say this. If we see that guy, now that, I personally, I don't know how you feel. I don't think Odell's ever playing another snap as a Cleveland Brown.
I don't think so. Not after the way things were handled today. It seemed like Andrew Berry and Stefanski were like, all right, no, we got to because like I said, the way he went about it was very immature. This causes bad blood immediately in the locker room because this should have been handled in the locker room. Had Odell had problems with Baker, like we know that they had, he should have handled it in the locker room, didn't. So that immediately causes bad blood. So Andrew Berry and Stefanski seemed like they had to jump on it right away today. And I do like that because it seems like in past Browns regimes, they would have just let the stuff linger and fester and like just whatever.
Yeah.
They both kind of seem to be on the same page. Look, Odell's not going to practice today. We're just going to I don't know if he got there and they sent him home or they told him not to come in, but either way, they told him not to practice. and Barry was already talking to his representative. So, and then what was it you said earlier too, that they were willing to burn a roster spot or whatever for the rest of the season?
Yeah. So this is why I'll explain that in a second. This is why I today made me feel a lot better about all this shit. Because it was like, okay, this organization is like, they do due diligence on every fucking part of their operation. They have a plan and they like execute it. They're buttoned up.
Yep.
Like Stefanski knew right away. Odell's representatives are talking to Andrew Berry. We'll see where it goes from there. And the report came out kind of during Stefanski's press conference today that he told the team this morning that Odell, as of right now, is not part of this team, which Stefanski did not deny at all during the press conference, which could mean two things. One, Stefanski's just done with them, and, you know, either he's getting cut or they're sitting him and burning the roster spot, like you said, or he's going to have to earn his way back onto this team if he's even got a shot at that, which I don't see right now. I just don't.
Yeah.
And then, the Josina Anderson said that Odell showed up and was told he's not going to be practicing. Then in Stefanski's press conference, he said that it was a decision that was made this morning, and he was told he would be excused from practice and wasn't here. So coach is saying one thing, Josina saying another. I feel like that might have been Odell, like, I showed up trying to practice.
Yeah,
because Josina is in with Odell's camp. She really is.
I would have to imagine that the organization probably did give him a call and said, hey, don't,
most likely.
Because even in our fucking regular everyday jobs, like, they at least have some kind of like some of that courtesy, so.
Also, Baker's press conference was very, very telling to me because
I didn't get to listen to his. I only got to hear not snippets of it, but like when I was on my way home today from work, Bull and Fox were kind of talking about it a little bit, but then it was a commercial for the rest of the 15 minutes driving home.
Right.
Stupid, but so I only got to hear like little bits of them just kind of reiterating it.
Yeah, it was, and see, this is what's tough because it's like they always say in like politics or with voting or something like that. You tend to lean towards the last argument you heard, because it's freshest in your mind.
Bias.
Yeah, and it's kind of how I felt today. I was like, man, yesterday I was like, I really was not on Odell's side because I thought both of them were at fault, but I was really sympathizing for Odell.
Yeah.
Today it's like, all right, I hear Baker, I hear him talk. His press conference was really well done, like super professional, and kind of seemed like more of a leader than I've seen in a long time from Baker.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm like perfectly fine with the direction that we're going right now. Like, let's fucking move on with this. Let's put this in the past. Let's fucking go after Cincinnati. I kind of got that vibe after Baker's press conference, and I was like, this is good. This is what we needed. So it made me feel better. But with everything that's gone on, I don't know how this is gonna show up on the field, because it sucks too, because the media, because of COVID, isn't allowed in the locker room. They can't talk to any of the other guys. Like that locker room has to be split, right? Like, there's got to be some guys who are like on Odell's side. Some guys.
I don't know.
It's got to be like Twitter.
See, I was thinking of this today though too, like what the real like. Because again, I was thinking about like this, the way they did the video and all that. Like, it does put the bad blood in the locker room. I don't know if it would be as split as extreme as Twitter, because these guys are obviously they're seeing each other in real life first off, so that takes out a lot of animosity you would initially have against somebody.
Yeah.
When you have to see these people face to face, and then on top of that, football players always talk about it's like a brotherhood, like you're going to war with these guys, like stuff like that. So you have that layer too, where it's like, okay, are there guys in the locker room that may lean towards another player over another? Yes. But I don't think it is as vicious and one-sided as Twitter. I do think maybe because they're around it the whole time too, maybe can understand more of the nuance that's going on with it. Like, one of my biggest things I was thinking about today too was like Jarvis Landry, right?
Yeah,
everybody knows he's Odell's. They're like best friends. Like, I don't think this affects Jarvis Landry in any way, shape, or form. because I think he's going to act like a professional when it comes time to act like a professional. And I think he's going to treat the locker room that same exact way. And as one of the guys we talk about a lot that sets the tone for the team and is a true leader in this locker room, I feel like at least I think this is what he's going to, try and do for the situation, is basically make it like, look, this is a stupid drama. We got games to go out and play. We're professionals. We got to handle our business.
Yeah.
So I think that would maybe be the more overall tone of the locker room. But at the same time, who knows? It's the Browns.
Yeah.
Things could fall into their old ways.
It could, but I agree with you. I think Landry will hold it together. I was worried about this whole, what the organization would do with Odell and how it would affect Landry. I don't know that it's going to matter much after this year because, honestly, they're probably both going to be gone. I don't know if they're going to be paying Jarvis $15 million a year to catch 60 balls and have 800 and 900 yards. I don't know that as much as I'd love them to, because he meant so much to the culture change here.
Yes.
I've said this before. He deserves a statue here just for that.
Yes.
But I do believe he'll hold the locker room together. Just by the way he leads. He already said he did like a Twitch stream with Hollywood and all them yesterday. I watched a little bit of it. And he said he wouldn't turn his back on Baker. Like he would never turn his back on Baker.
Yeah.
So that's great to hear. And obviously, yeah, he's probably thinks like, yeah, my boy Odell still got it in him. We're not getting him the ball. He deserves better. His career. I mean, honestly, Odell's career is in jeopardy here. Truthfully, it is.
No, it is for sure.
After today, he looks like the bigger of the baby, as he should, because I mean, how he handled it was totally immature.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, I don't want us to cut him. I want us to let him rot. Not rot. That sounds horrible. But like just sit.
After trying to say earlier too, like I don't want to just completely shit on Odell.
Yeah, that was the wrong
Make
word.
Make him suffer.
But it's just what you're used to saying. Just waste the roster spot. Let him sit at home. Let him just sit there, and
ground him. Make him think about his actions.
Well, all you're gonna do is there's no way he's getting a big money contract.
No, he hasn't put up the numbers to even if he's been healthy. Like, I mean, I still don't know if he would have been putting up the numbers to get a huge contract just because of the type of offense we run.
Yeah, and
Cleveland runs.
Listen, by huge for him, I'm talking like above $5 million because I don't think he's proven anything to be over that. Honestly,
yeah, no.
I mean, honestly, has his production been that much better than Hollywood Higgins was last year?
No.
And
in fact, I know I got a little overworked a lot of the times, but once Odell went out, I was raving about how much better I thought the offense ran without him. And again, I know I was very emotional about it here and there, but
it was hard not to be.
Yeah, there's not right, but
because
yeah,
this
there wasn't
been
much
an issue. This has been an issue since Odell's been here. Truthfully.
It has, and
it's not like it was a one overnight thing,
No, and it sucks so bad because as a Cleveland fan, you're like, we're getting fucking Odell Beckham.
Yes.
Like we don't ever get like.
I remember the day it happened.
It's like I think you texted me and Joe.
We were playing Call of Duty. I didn't have to text you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was like this is happening. This is really happening.
It happened.
The only other time I was that excited is when the Browns got Landry because that was like holy fuck, like. So it was like, and then on top of that, you're getting Odell, and it just it has not been.
Yeah, it was a fairy tale.
Of course, it would work out this way in Cleveland, which sucks.
Yeah,
because the team was playing solid while he was just not doing Odell things.
Yeah, and the other reason I don't cut him is because truthfully, he is open on these routes. He really is. He give him like the opportunity to go sign with Rodgers, Mahomes, Brady. God forbid, God forbid. Could you imagine?
They don't need another weapon down in Tampa
Bay. They don't. Dude. But Antonio Brown's out right now. Can you imagine if Antonio Brown was your number 4 fucking option?
Oh my God.
They're repeating. I'm sorry. It'd be great for our one fantasy league that we split because we have Brady.
It'd be solid as fuck. It's already been solid. That'd be just take it to a whole other level.
I can't imagine that. And I can't imagine you let him go now when you really think you have a chance to win and him go and him just be like, you know what? Fuck you guys for the rest of this year. I'm going to Baltimore. I'm gonna make it a point to come back and fuck you. Which he could end up in Baltimore anyway after this, but you're not gonna do it this year. That's right. why I'm holding him. I'm not gonna let you go choose where you want to go right now. You can do that after the year when I cut you.
I think that'd be the smart play too, and I can see the organization making that kind of move. They especially this new regime and everything since John Dorsey kind of changed a lot of shit in there. They do think a lot more like strategically and stuff now.
Yeah.
So it's definitely the route I kind of would expect them to go.
Yeah.
Specifically because of that reason. They don't want him going to any team that they could possibly face down the stretch or in the playoffs.
Yeah. And that's why I texted you and Joe earlier, and I was like, when Stefanski said Barry and Odell's representatives were talking, I was like, one of two things is happening. They're trying to cut a deal financially so they can cut him, or they're just going to let the roster burn. And then, like, I think 30 or 40 minutes later, that report came out that Barry was willing to waste the roster spot to keep him, which is smart. I mean, it is. It's just smart. If I'm gonna lose this money anyway, I might as well lose this money and not have someone else benefit from it.
Yep. Yeah, you don't want that.
No, fuck that shit.
No.
So I do think that's a smart move. That's what made me feel a little bit better today, mostly because I was like, all right, this organization like knows what they're doing, even in the middle of a fucking shitstorm that came out of nowhere. They were composed and they fucking they got it done.
Can we talk about how it literally did feel like it came out of nowhere? Like,
it did come out of nowhere. Even though this had been building, it just came out of nowhere.
Like, for real, like, and it was, we've been watching it. We've been watching the Browns kind of suck the last couple weeks. Baker been shit. Odell, not really doing much. And just this video came out. And I remember it had to be like Monday morning, I think. You had texted me and Joe or something about it. And I was like, oh, is this in reference to that video? And just like from there on, it's just like, holy fuck. The floodgates just opened up this shit.
I think everyone, because obviously on the radio they were talking about the video. But I honestly think it was LeBron's tweet changed everything. It became national news then. Like, it was like Cleveland. It was big Cleveland news, obviously. But once LeBron tweeted hashtag free Odell, I think everyone took it and ran with it. Everyone.
Yeah, Jim Rome was talking about it today on my way home about America's team.
Was he? I love Jim, man.
I love it. He says America's team, and he's like the Cleveland Browns right after. I'm like, this is fucking great. This is phenomenal.
Yeah, I love Rome. He's fucking great. So yeah, that's that drama. It hasn't come to a head. They haven't said whether they're gonna keep him or I'm assuming since he's still technically on the roster that they're burning the spot. There was a weird report that came out, by the way, that said that Odell plans to play Sunday. And I thought to myself, why? Like, did you say that because you're planning on getting cut, signing with someone and playing immediately? Or you really do at the point where you're going to try to mend this? I didn't know where that came from because Baker did say he was willing to set his ego aside, have a conversation, and go win football games because that's what he cares about.
Yeah. But
the whole time Baker's interview, I got the vibe of like, fuck this guy. Like, we're going to do it without him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if he was being honest or if he was just, that was just a word piece fucking, because it's what you want to hear.
That's what I'm trying to think too. Like, who would it really benefit? And I don't even think it would really benefit Odell even in that situation. It's just like, I don't know. That's a weird report.
And I feel like if he played, he's either like his snaps are going to be significantly cut, or they're just going to force feed him the ball 15 times. And I don't want that either.
Right.
We've
seen when Baker tries to force feed Odell, and it's not
Ravens
pretty.
week 1 last year. Yeah. But who knows, dude? Who knows? I mean, that was a half-hour rant of fucking Baker versus Odell.
We need to get off
at the end of the day,
Browns fans.
At the end of the day, absolutely, we are Browns fans, so we had to get off our chest. And at the end of the day, even if you are still on Odell's side, you have to understand that Baker's a quarterback. He was going to win this battle no matter what. No good GM or good organization is going to put a wide receiver above a quarterback.
No.
Never. It's just never going to happen. Unless your quarterback is fucking Manziel. It's not happening. If you have an above average quarterback, which Baker I still think is an above average quarterback. I think Baker's there with like Kirk Cousins and Jimmy G and those guys. I think he's in
on that borderline.
Right. He's right in there. Sometimes he can play ahead of those guys. Sometimes he can play behind them. But he's in that zone somewhere. But you're never going to pick a wide receiver, I don't care how good he is, over a guy who...
You're just not.
Yeah, you're not going from Baker to Case Keenum and possibly making a playoff run. You're only doing that with Baker. And you saw that last year. I mean, they were a defensive play away from possibly beating the Chiefs. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So you think we got that off our chest? I think we can move on.
I feel good. I feel
I do too.
I feel like there's some good therapy there.
It was. So let's talk about some more drama that's going on in the NFL. Fucking Aaron Rodgers, of course, finds himself in the middle of something. But it probably won't matter. I got this feeling like, yes, he was I want to say diagnosed with COVID, but that makes it sound like it's cancer or something.
Right.
He tested positive for COVID. Obviously, they have a little bit of a COVID bug going on. You know, they had Adams and Lazar out last week with it.
Right.
Now Rodgers is. Love's getting his first start, which could either work. I have a theory right here. Ready? I'm stealing this bit from Lima and Carmen. I have a theory that Rodgers doesn't have COVID, and he wants to show Green Bay that they're on a 7-game winning streak and beating everyone in the NFL, and this is what they could have if he retired. He's going to give him 2 weeks of love just to show him this is how bad you guys almost fucked up. So pay me some big fucking money after this season if I'm going to stay here.
That's fucking nuts.
Isn't
I don't know if but like a small part of me could see it being possible just because like
Rodgers is a prick, bro. He's
how
a prick.
old is he now too? He's 39, right?
He's up there. He's like 38 or 39, somewhere up there.
He's right around there. He's already won a Super Bowl. He's been MVP a couple times. He's made his money. So if there was ever a time for him to do like a gamble like this, now is the perfect time to do that. So like that little bit, like I'm like, okay, I
dude, the guy doesn't even talk to his own family. I don't think he's above.
Yeah, but why does he not talk to his own family? Is there specific reasons? Or is his family assholes?
I don't know.
I don't talk to certain parts of my family. It's because they're just pieces of shit. So
who knows? I remember. I forget what the quarter. Oh, it was Patrick Mahomes' dumbass brother does all those TikToks or whatever.
I only found out about his brother when he did
Mahomes,
like the
I think is what it is.
Yeah, I only found out when he did the Sean Taylor thing that he had a brother. So
yeah, I saw this picture of Rodgers hugging Mahomes, and it was like, that's why I don't talk to my family, bro, because everyone was making fun of Mahomes' brother. But anyways, yeah, I don't think Rodgers is above doing that. I really don't. Plus the whole like, I'm vaccinated, but I lied to you. I'm not vaccinated, which I guess he never really said he's vaccinated. He said he was.
No, he said he's immunized, which I was reading about.
Everyone is, dude.
Yeah, which I mean, so it's. I don't know. I was curious to see how this story is going to blow up because it is such a big name in the NFL too.
It is. It's not Cole Beasley. It's a lot harder to attack Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and the Cole Beasley thing I think fell off, and like it really wasn't around that long at all.
Yeah,
like,
it did.
So I don't know. It'd be interesting. I did see the one tweet too for me and Rappaport I seen today, and I was like, the way he like worded it was so like. I didn't want to say misinformation, but like
misleading.
I couldn't think of the misleading for sure. Because like, and I got to pull up here because I wanted to read it. Because this one I did take a little bit of like, I was like, all right, come on, like the way you worded this intentionally, like definitely is like misleading, or at least maybe not misleading, but makes you think of things in a certain manner. He's like, QB Aaron Rodgers received homeopathic treatment from his personal doctor to raise his antibody levels and asked the NFL to review his status. The NFL, NFLPA, and joint docs ruled him as unvaccinated. Now he has COVID-19. The way he like puts that tweet out is like because of this, and this.
Because he's not vaccinated, now he has COVID.
And I'm like,
even though
that's like
his star wide receiver just had COVID and is vaccinated.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, the way you worded that tweet like was, I feel like some kind of
it's misleading,
sort of manipulation.
Yeah,
like it. And that's where, like, it is misleading, but it's not. It's just the way he words it makes you think, like, oh, yeah, because this is this. Yeah, he's unvaccinated, so therefore COVID. Like,
yeah, you have to remember, too, Rappaport works for the NFL. I mean, he is the NFL.
I know.
So he's almost like a talking head at that point.
It's just sad to see that type of reporting in sports when like you get enough of that bullshit from regular mainstream news.
Yeah.
Where like they do shit like that. It's like even where I go to turn off from this shit, I still gotta like see bullshit like this, like manipulation attempts. It's just annoying. That's just my little rant on it, because it was when I seen that today, I was like, oh god, that just
it is dumb too that they got to be out like 14 days or 12 days, whatever the fuck the date.
I think it was like 10 I read or something like that. He's got to be away from like for 10 days.
If in 5 days he tests negative, test him the 6th day. If he tests negative, he's fine. What the fuck are those few days going to do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. So it is stupid, but I just had it in my head the whole day. I'm like, what if he's just fucking doing this? Like
that would be hilarious. That would be fucking
just to prove a point. Which it could backfire, but I doubt it.
I'm kind of hoping for that now, because that's just exciting if that's the case. Like,
it'd be great. It'd be great as a Browns fan, because then the Packers are like, okay, go ahead and leave. We know, like, Love looks like he's going to be okay. So
I still don't think Rodgers comes to Cleveland.
I don't either. I got a real fear that he's going to go to fucking Pittsburgh. I got a real fear of that.
That would suck.
Like a real fear.
They got all the tools. They're just missing a quarterback, honestly.
Yeah. Well, and they're missing the offensive line, to be honest.
Offensive line.
He would be the quarterback.
Yeah.
It
would help.
But Rodgers has had shitty offensive lines anyway. So
yeah.
And I know.
So saying even a good offensive line does blow, but even a good quarterback can kind of overcome a shitty line, just because they're so good and like precise with their decision making.
For years, Brady had a below average line. I've always said that a good quarterback makes a line better.
It can, yes.
But
absolutely.
I just, he's got a relationship with Tomlin. I don't know. That would be the worst nightmare.
I don't even want to think about that.
I don't
either. I see that more likely than him coming to Cleveland for sure.
Yeah.
That sucks. I don't want to think about that at all.
Yeah. So that's that news. Aaron Rodgers most likely going to miss the next 2 games. One for sure. I think he could possibly come back Saturday, but he won't be able to practice that second week. So, I mean, which Rodgers probably could walk off the field without practicing. I mean, he didn't do any training camp and came out, got shit on week 1, and then has been shitting on everyone else the rest of the time. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens with that. And then I guess the only other thing we got to talk about is Thursday Night Football, which is a real dud of a fucking game. Fucking Jets at the Colts. Carson Wentz versus Mike White. What a fucking stud QB matchup. Honestly, I don't know who's better. A week ago, I would have said Carson Wentz, but I don't know.
even barring that stupid ass pass of his, that pick 6, I would say right now, Wentz is definitely playing better.
You got to lean towards that because he's been in the league. But who knows?
Maybe it is that.
White
maybe
just threw 400 for 400 yards. Now his average depth per target was like under 5 yards, so they were all dump offs.
So it was a lot of yak.
A lot of yak,
fucking yak.
A lot of yak. But still, like got it done. Bounce. Got it done.
Yeah.
Upset the Bengals, who were probably like the hottest team in the NFL from like a popularity standpoint. So who knows what's gonna happen here? I think Indy's defense is a hell of a lot better than Cincy's. So
that's where, I don't think the Jets got a chance of winning this one. I'm going with the Colts.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I just think that
it's gonna be too much for the Jets.
Yeah, I agree. The Colts defense is playing better. They were a little shaky at the beginning of the year. They've been playing a lot better. The Bengals defense was playing great and then played like shit last week. Jets took advantage of it. I don't think you're gonna have that happen against the Colts. Colts have Jonathan Taylor. He's been playing like a freaking madman. I think he has a huge game. Michael Pittman's been playing great. I could see this being a blowout because the Colts just lost a tough game at home in overtime versus their rival. I could see him taking some anger out on the Jets. It's a bad week to play the Jets. That's the same with the Browns. It's a bad week to play the Bengals because they just dropped the game against the Jets. Now they have all this distraction.
That's another thing
that's gonna suck.
Made it like sucky with the whole Browns thing this week is like I already wasn't looking forward to this Sunday's game because of that, like Bengals losing to the Jets, and now like with all this shit, it's like I definitely ain't looking forward to this game.
Yeah, looking forward to Joey B throwing it to
That's
Jamar
gonna be
Chase
the
for
only,
my fantasy team, but
the only highlight.
Who knows?
And even then,
dude?
it's a painful like excitement on Sunday because
Who
like you're
knows?
like
I'll tell you this, and this is the last thing I'll say about this situation. If Baker comes out and balls the fuck out, Odell's agenda's done. At least for a week, it's done. And all this stuff doesn't matter. It all just goes away.
Yeah.
If the Browns win. I mean, the Browns just have to win. Baker doesn't even have to play well, and this story will go away. But if he balls out, that Odell agenda's looking really not good.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen like last year where like he goes out and now all of a sudden our offense just
he completes 21
rolling.
Straight passes, including the game winner with 11 seconds to go.
I don't think it's going to happen like that because this year the offense hasn't and Baker hasn't tried to run a lot through Odell like they were trying in the past. But I would feel so bad for Odell if that's exactly what happens. Even though I trashed on him and said how he handled it was immature, but just from a standpoint of him, like I would feel a little bad if that's exactly what happens. Like the rest from here on out, the Browns are just like fucking on fire and like lighting it up.
I wouldn't feel bad for him, dude. I'll just think about what could have been, bro. Because I just don't get how it couldn't work, man. I know Stefanski's offense is also a part of this. It's not like huge on getting wide receivers big numbers. That doesn't mean you can't have 5 for 70 every game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Adam Thielen did it. Diggs was still getting some yardage. I mean, he wasn't happy and he made it known, but they were producing. I mean, Odell's getting 2 targets a game. That's not good. That's awful. Not good. But yeah, that'll do it for this video.
I know. I like how we capped it off with more Browns talk.
Hey,
again. We had a bookend.
We needed this. We needed this.
Had a lot to get off our chest.
I mean, if you're watching this, you're probably a Browns fan too, anyway. So, normally we just do a Thursday night preview on Wednesday nights, but we had to get this off our chest. It's been pounding us for 2 days. So fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them.
Yep.
All these rich athletes bitching about stupid shit.
Honestly, at the end of the day, too, it's like, all right, everybody, grow the fuck up. You guys are making millions to play a goddamn game. Come on now.
Yeah.
We're all adults here.
Let's put our privilege to the side. No, just kidding. We're not going to go there. All right. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. If this video made you depressed because you're a Browns fan, hit the subscribe button. And
we'll have more not depressing news later.
Hopefully. We do Saturday videos. We'll preview all the games going on Sunday. Plus we'll recap what happened Thursday, probably the Colts shitting on the Jets. And then look out for videos Friday. We usually talk about movies, video games, whatever the fuck. Just kind of get away from sports for a little bit. Talk about other shit that we like. So look to watch those if you want. If you don't, it's a free country. You don't have to. Or fuck you. So until next time, we'll see you guys later. Deuces.
Cheers.